analyst. So he's going to be the color analyst today. I will be the play-by-play. I'm honored to have him. He knows a lot about football. He's got a lot of good stories. But as Green gets ready to kick here, of course, Green is a fan of putting the ball on the ground here, doing the best they can. And here comes Mendoza to kick it off. Red is still getting some guys on the field. Any second now. There it is. And we're going to get ready to kick. Mendoza's going to send it off. Back in for speed. He looks like he has Hilliard and Potter.
All right, sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. I'm in the booth here. This is the Super Bowl for Green JV and Red JV. Both teams are in the Super Bowl here.
I'm joined in the booth by Michael Jimenez, who was cool. I enjoyed calling him as a player. He's now going to be the color commentator.
Following the path of all great players, he is now in the booth. Knox Wainscott, hard Knox, comes under center. He's only 13 years old, takes the ball, hands it off to Potter. Potter's going to round, try the left sid. They got some good lead blocks out there by Schiffer, and he's going to run out right near the first down marker, pick for a first down.
There you go. It seems like this game is definitely going to be a defensive battle. That's usually how it is in the championship games. These teams actually played each other yesterday, so this is going to be a repeat. It was a one score, I believe it was 6-0 or 8-0, one of the two. And so we're going to see if if there will be any changes, since it wasn't too much of a high scoring game.
Wainscott going to go under center here. Takes a snap. It looks like he was going to get the 46, okay. Falls up, going to come up the middle and rummage forward for the first down. Number 46 on the carry, Jonathan Bessines. Good job by him on that carry.
Yeah, definitely a good job not giving up on that play. It's been raining today, so there's definitely going to be some mud on the field, and you do slip sometimes, but he got back up right in time to secure that first down for the Red.
Here we are, Raptors first down in enemy territory for them. Knox under center with Bessines and Schiffer behind him. Here's the play. Give the Bessines up the middle and wrapped up immediately there by 64 on Green, Alec Gomez.
Like I said, it's definitely going to be a defensive battle. Both offenses, they like to run the ball. I know Red likes to pass it a little bit more, but they do have decently strong offenses, but their defenses, I think, are their strong suit on both teams. So it's really going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes.
Here again, Knox, hard Knox going under center here. He's got Hilliard out wide, Salvion to his right. Takes the ball. It's going to be given to Potter on the end around. He's going to try the right side. He's going to turn up the corner, runs into a pile, and they're going to gang tackle him there for a couple on the right side there. Going to set up, which would be, I believe, third and about 7 or 8 with under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter here. I talked to Coach Griggs yesterday. Coach Griggs yesterday told me, well, we're not going to show anything. And as you watched the game yesterday, Red and Green pretty much ran the same basic up the middle play over and over again. But both are playing really hard on defense. A lot of hits on defense yesterday.
It'll definitely be a different game today than it was yesterday. And the field's a little more wet, so that might play a factor as well.
Knox, ready to take the snap. Takes it, looks to throw. Under pressure, rolls to his left. He's got in trouble there, and they're going to bring him down there. Looks like Green 42 eventually there was able to tie him up. Caleb Monkowski, but flushed early by a plethora of Green defenders.
Definitely a good one-on-one tackle there by the Green 42 player. It looked like Wainscott was about to release a throw, and if he did, he might have gotten some yards. It looked like the Red player downfield was a little open, but when you have that many people in your face, sometimes it seems a little bit smarter to tuck it. But it looks like might be punting on this play.
Yep, Hilliard, who has been their punter all week, lines up. 4th and 15. Here it is. There's good pressure by Green. Barely gets it off. Gets it. It's going to roll down and around in there. It looks like Potter's going to run, try to down it. And he falls down, but I believe he's inside. We'll see where they mark it, but it looks like he's definitely inside the 10 there.
Great. That was a great kick and a great attack on the kicking team's side, on the punt team. Way to get down there because it looked like it was going to roll right into the end zone, but luckily they got it. Wow. On the 1. On the 1. Can't ask for a better punt than that.
So one of the things that most people think kicking the ball here is just easy, but as you yourself being a man camp punter, what is one of the difficulties here about punting that other punters don't have?
You know, there are a few differences when it comes to man camp punting. I would say the biggest one is probably going to be placement. That's going to be a tough one. And I know on these fields, when it does rain, there are some soft spots, and sometimes your team doesn't, get down on the field. Doesn't get down the field fast enough, and sometimes they do roll into the end zone, which kind of takes away most of the purpose of the punt because now they're back on the 20. But when you have a team that runs down the field and puts in a lot of effort to down the ball close to the goal line, and the kicker who can have a decent amount of placement like we just saw right now, it looks like this might be a pretty important possession for both of these teams.
Now Green here is using what they call the super wedge, and that's where they put 10 guys on the line and 1 guy behind center, and it's just going to be, we're just going to be a QB sneak. We're all going to push forward. Green does like that. Now they are on the far end of the field, so I can't quite see exactly all the things in there. It looks like they have a back of the backfield this time. They're going to take it, they're going to roll out, try to get some yards outside. Looks like Red is going to be able to chase them down for no gain on there. And the other unique thing about Green is they tend to rotate because they, well, to be honest, most of the time they don't ever intend on throwing the ball. They just rotate the running backs back behind there. So in a given series, they can have as many as 4 or 5 guys play quarterback, quote unquote, really running back. But then at the same time, Green is capable of coming out in a spread offense. It's a very unique theme, a lot to prepare for and cover for. Towards the end, we saw them going 4 wides. So while right now they were doing a lot of super wedge, now that I see 15 Briggs in the huddle, I wonder if they will kind of switch with 3rd and 9, try to air it out more. Though they are in their own end zone, and that's always dangerous when you're that close to the end zone here.
This is true. I know that, at least from my perspective, if I was the coach on the Green team right here, a pass play might be dangerous just because if they have to punt, then he's going to be punting from the back of the end zone, and 1 missed block, and that's a safety. And so what I know what some coaches might do is they might try to run to get some yards, but it doesn't look like that had been working the first couple plays. So, really there might be some points that might get thrown on the board after this 4th down here.
Field position is such a big deal at man camp. Being a kicker and punter, having a good one is a rarity. Most players don't have those. Most teams don't. But as they line up here, it looks like Red was going to leave a guy uncovered. But they have, looks like 3 wide receivers. 4 at the end. I can't see him because of the flag, but here's the set. They're looking to throw. He's going to throw it across the middle. He's going to catch it, and it's going to be caught. And he's still dragging people, still trying to go forward. They run forward. I cannot see where he is in the 1st down. Looking for a signal from the referee.
That's a first.
There it is. They're going to go forward.
I guess they did end up airing it out there. And it paid off because now they get to move the chains and they don't have to punt from their end zone.
Let's see, here they are. They're going to stay out, and they're 4 wide receivers. Griggs had told me earlier that, hey, I've been saving some plays for Friday. So here we are. It looks like Coach Griggs is going to do that. He has in the backfield with him Ramos, and next to Ramos is Griggs. 4 wide. Looks to air it out.
Pass again. Wide open.
Wide open, and he's going to turn around the field, and they're going to be able to drag him down, but not after. But after a substantial gain there. Good catch by number 40 in the play, Evan Riley. Looked like the guy jumped up on the short line. I didn't see another Red guy near him.
Nope, it looked like he thought the ball was going to come a little short. Tried to play that receiver that was in front of him, and ended up having to turn around and chase the guy down. If the ball was thrown a little bit farther, it's very possible it might have been a touchdown, but that's 2 back-to-back plays for the Green where they aired it out and got, you know, they're 35 yards moving the chains.
Yep. And so here we are, 1st and 10, ball on the 35, under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Red able to move, had a great punt, and Green battling out from their own 1-yard line. Looks like the receivers here coming out. We have Riley to his left. Griggs in the backfield with Ramos.
The spread offense is working. The air, you know, throwing it in the air is working. I would probably go back to the same, and they do. Almost picked off.
Looks like that was number 66, Gilbert Consford, able to get a hand on there. Maybe, I don't know if it kind of ricocheted around there. I'm going to assume he got a hand on there. It looked like Drew Topman there trying to reel it in, unable to do so. You'll see at times the players will be running off to the sideline. Sometimes, like Red, they'll be running in kind of receivers. That's just calling in the play where they keep substituting the one receiver over and over again. Right now, I think Griggs is just running in, getting the plays from his dad, Pastor Griggs, and it's going to come back to the huddle. Here he is. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 2nd and 10. Green taking a while in the huddle. They break. And here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Caleb. Caleb's going to bounce outside, but no. Runs into his look-alike counterpart, 52 Salvione. If you stood them both next to each other, they look exactly the same. Kind of built the same too. When 52 able to come up and make a good tackle on Griggs there, Salvione on Griggs. I was trying to look, I didn't have it at first, but it looks like number 89 on the far side is going to be Chandler Tierix. That's who is number 89 for Green. So Green been going with a combination out wide of Tapman, Tierix, and Riley as the receivers with Griggs in the backfield. And then on the end for them there is Caleb Monkowski.
Yeah, it looked like what they were trying to do there was, you know, after 3 pass plays, it seemed like the Red defense spread out a little bit, and but there was a blitz from the left side, which, you know, forced the run to the right.
The pass is thrown. Ooh, looks like no one was there. Maybe a miscommunication. Maybe a misread there. I didn't see a receiver in the area. Of course, playing quarterback much harder than if you've never played it at home. Putting on a helmet and shoulder pads really changes the throwing motion, and also people trying to kill you. That makes that a lot harder. I say that in jest, but you have a whole group of people who are trying to tackle you and hit you as hard as they can. It does make it a little bit harder.
Yeah, just a tad.
So that will be the end of the first quarter. They're going to go ahead and get. We're going to switch sides here, get some water for the boys here. They're going to run in, regroup with their coaches. The coaches for the head coach for Green is, of course, Jason Griggs, and of course Jeremy Houston is with him. And also on Red, we have Cecil Ballard as the head coach, Mike Hall and Mike Bragg as the OC, and Michael Jimenez Sr. is the defensive coordinator. As we've noticed before, we've been talking about the various Jimenezes throughout the week. It's kind of there are a few football families here, I would say. Jimenezes would be one of them. We talked about the Griggs family, how that seems like there are Griggs everywhere. There's Coach Griggs, there's the other Coach Griggs, there's Caleb Griggs, same with the Jimenez, there's quite a few of them. And then also, you'll start seeing familiar last names. Another one of those is Combs, Monkowski. You'll hear those quite a bit all throughout the different weeks and different lineups. So it's going to be 4th down and 12 for Green.
Green has been moving the ball a little bit, but it seems like these last 3 downs haven't gotten them, you know, too much. Lost the 2 yards, and you know, it kind of makes you think: are they going to try and punt? Which would be, well, looking like they're going to punt. Being backed up into your own half is always a pretty good indicator that you're going to want to punt the ball.
Back to receive it is Schiffer and Shifty Schiffer and Hilliard, number 73. Ramos to kick. Here's a kick. Oh, it looks like they may have got a hand on it. It's going to let it bounce. Picked up by Schiffer. Schiffer's going to try to get outside. Hit and wrapped up immediately by number 40, Evan Riley on the play. One of the hardest things about punting in man camp is that the blocking is not always there.
Yep.
It is a little bit better here on the last day. There's better blocking, but as we saw early on in the week, also punting was disastrous for the punting team, as it either give us a big return, the snap would be bad, or it would just be blocked. I saw one punter have a hand around his waist as he was trying to kick the ball earlier this week. That kind of sums up punting sometimes, especially the lower you get. Up here at JV, a little bit better blocking, but still can be tough.
I would say probably the most important thing in man camp isn't necessarily having the best athlete or the biggest and strongest players, but it's having a good offensive line that can give you some time to get your plays off. And also when you're in that position when you have to punt, it's very important that you don't have a broken play that could lead to some points.
Here it is, faked off to Hilliard. They're going to give inside to Potter. Potter's going to rumble forward for a few yards off the right side. You see a lot of the teams right now, earlier in the week you didn't see this, but now you see teams trying to use the hard count to try to get people to come off sides. Congratulations to Red not falling for their own hard count. We were seeing that quite a bit earlier in the week. The own offensive linemen going on the hard count. But hopefully by this week, we've gotten kind of used to it. Red has had the same quarterback here for quite some time with not Cambridge, that's his older brother, for Knox. Knox here, he's got two receivers to his right, two to his left, one to his right. Hilliard goes in motion. The give to Hilliard, wrapped up in the backfield immediately. Boy, they were ready for that one. Number 71 on Green, Benjamin Hernandez in there quickly.
Definitely seeing some smart plays here from the Green defense. And it's really just coming down to a defensive game. Is their offense, the Green offense was moving a little bit, but the Red offense stepped up, forced the punt, and now it's looking like the Red might have to return the ball back over to the Green here in the play.
Raptors come out, Hilliard to the right, 46 Bassinas to his left. Out in the end there, 55 for Red. Here's the play. They're going to take it, and it looks like he's just going to wrap it up immediately. Then it looked like they couldn't even get going on a play. Hard Knocks goes down. It's going to set up a 4th and about 10. Let's see what Red wants to do. They are right around the 40-yard line, but given this is a defensive battle and how great their last punt was, I would assume they would try that again. As we're under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Like you said, you called it was going to be a defensive battle.
Yeah, that's usually what the championship games really come down to is, after playing together for 3 games, it's really just what defense meshes together the best. And straight out of bounds.
They're going to bounce and take a bad bounce here. They're going to move the ball at least to the other side of the field. It's going to be a punt. We'll call it about 15 yards on there. 15 yards of field position.
Yeah. Sometimes can be a make or break.
But as you see here, punting is so much difficult here. Also, it looked like just the drop was a little off on that. Hit it with the side of his foot.
And it definitely doesn't help that it had been raining today, and when the field is a little bit more wet than normal, it's definitely a big it's a big game changer, because a lot of times it causes teams to not be able to pass like they normally can. But we haven't seen that from Green. Green's been doing good in the air, and kicking is one of those things where when you have enough mud on the ball, you have the ref is trying to dry the ball off, and so when that happens enough times as the game goes on, it looks like those types of plays are going to be a little bit more difficult.
The other thing on here is the wind factor right now. The wind is blowing south to north, which is going left to right on your screen here. And we get to see the Green offense again. Here they come out. Ramos in the backfield with Griggs. He's got to his right out there Monkowski and Topman. And to his left, Riley. And I believe that is Tirick. And here's the snap. Ramos takes it, got pressure in his face, gets outside, throws it, picked off! And it's going to be brought back by number 33, Red. Excellent job there by Red to go and get there. Looks like he was off balance when he tried to throw that.
Yep, usually when you have a defender hanging on you, it might change the trajectory of the ball, and that's what it seemed like it did on this last play. But it was a good eye by the defensive player. Didn't quite see the number there, but
I think that was 33, Harrison Purdy. Harrison Purdy,
yeah, he had a good eye on that ball. He undercut the receiver there, and that change of possession is going to be huge here.
Unfortunately for Green here, that means that Red, even though they punted the ball and they got it back, it's like their series is now continuing here. With 7:18, the clock will start on the snap to go in the first half. Knox takes it, and gives it up in the middle, and up the middle there for a limited gain there. It was number 14, Potter. It's kind of cool that we can start to hear some of the players are talking. You can hear Griggs in the middle telling his players who's going to get the ball. Red trying to mislead him there. It becomes kind of a cat and mouse game here. 2nd and 10, under 7 to go here. Defensive battle for sure. Looks like Red's trying to kind of establish the run more in the middle, maybe try to open things on the outside. Green, though, having been stalled out in offense. Looks like their aerial game was working for a little bit, but then stalled out, and then they've now thrown the interception. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 on the 44.
Sometimes when you have some big gains in the air, the quarterback might try and force it just because it has worked, but that's not always the case.
Here comes Knox, takes it, takes the handoff. He's going to give it to Schiffer. Schiffer's going to try to go outside, cuts inside, and is going to be brought down for a nice gain on the play. He's going to set up a 3rd and about 5 or 6 here, maybe 6 or 7. Good run there, gives him a chance on 3rd down. This might be 2-down territory here. Depending, I would say, it depends on how this play goes. As they break the huddle, Knox is going to come under center. He's got Hilliard to his left. Behind him is Bessinas and Schiffer.
Defense is adjusting to the...
Gets out to Schiffer. Schiffer's going to try the right side. He's got contact, and they're going to drag him for a 4 or 5 yard loss on the play.
Yeah, it looked like the defense shifted over on that. Like they recognized the play that they've seen probably either yesterday or today earlier in the game. And it was a good play. They came strong off that side, almost like they knew Schiffer was going to be headed over there and locked him up for a loss.
Coaches sometimes watch the film of other teams' games to be able to learn and see what they're running. It's hard to install a lot of new plays. A lot of these players, we have all sorts of skill ranges. We have some people who've played a lot of ball, some who have not. But because of that, it tends to lead to kind of more basic and smaller playbooks. 4th and 8. It looks like they're going to go for it here. Knox got some receivers out here. Ooh.
Looks like a false start there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I believe they called it on the defense. So it looks like one of the defensive players broke the line of scrimmage before the offensive player moved, which resulted in that offsides call.
It's going to move him closer. This is definitely going to make this an interesting call here. This is now much more manageable, those extra 5 yards.
It should be still a 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Yeah, there they go.
There we go, got it all set. So they come out here.
And depending on that play, whether it was Red got the 5 or ended up having to get backed up 5, they probably won't punt now.
Knox picks it off the ground while in there. It's going to be a handoff to Potter. Potter on the outside. Forced inside by 42. Met right there. I think that's going to be enough for a first down.
Going to be enough for a first down.
Good hard running there. It was met in the hole by a couple of guys there on the outside there, but able to drag him forward for those extra yards.
This team seems pretty evenly matched. The defenses are both very strong. The offense does move the ball, and I believe it's just going to come down to those simple mistakes like Green coming off sides that are going to make a difference in this game.
I should note for those watching at home that Joey Schiffer has a New Jersey number. It's number 6. That might have been confusing to some. I believe the young man had to get a new jersey, so he had number 18 yesterday, I believe, or number 16, and today he has 6. I should say that because it's probably confusing to some. Joey Schiffer is wearing number 6.
I did see the aftermath of his game yesterday, and his jersey was torn up pretty good. So I think it probably was a smart decision to change it.
Right, don't change it now so that if it doesn't rip in a game, then you don't have to take a play off. Here comes Cambridge, or not Cambridge, Knox. Knox is going to give it to Potter. Potter's going to run through, keep turning the legs, keep driving forward inside the 25-yard line. Good hard run there.
The offensive line, they really opened up a hole there on the left side of their offensive line. And you know, they kicked out the D end there, and then they closed up the D tackle, and that just left a big gap for Potter to run right through. All he had to do was break one tackle, and then picked up a gain of about 6.
Here they go. Red's going to come out here. It looks like the receivers are going to be Salvione and Hilliard. Potter the end. With Consford and Schiffer in the backfield behind Knox. Knox takes it, gives it to Consford. Consford's going to run up the middle. Oh, for a short game, maybe of 1 or 2 there. Good job. We see number 71 Green. Benjamin Hernandez in again in the stop on the stop. One of the things that's interesting about these games is that it seems like sometimes they start to tighten up the bigger the moment. We've seen more penalties at the end of games, especially in some of these playoffs. We'll see how this affects up here at the junior varsity level. As we come out, break the huddle. Knox is going to go under center with Consford and Schiffer behind him. Hilliard out to his left. Number 55 in red out to his Miller. Consford's going to run to his own guy, try to kick it and bounce out there. Hit hard on the play. Benjamin Hernandez coming down along with number 42 on the team there, Caleb Monkowski. Both of them doing an excellent job. Boy, Hernandez 2 plays in a row in on the stop.
That's going to bring another 4th down. It seems like these teams almost hit a 4th down every single drive pretty early, and I'm curious to see if the red is going to try for another hard count, see if they can draw the green off sides like they did last time. Might be getting in the red zone might make a big difference here in this game. Getting closer to scoring a point. Green kicked off the ball at the start of the game, and so that means that they're going to be getting the ball back here in 1 minute and 20. So I'm sure red is stressing to try and get a touchdown in here.
We will be, during halftime, playing the top 10s highlights from yesterday for you. Now, if you're a red here, who do you like to get the ball with? Is there a play that you've seen them run that you might think could have a little bit more success?
They've been running the ball a lot. They have good plays. It really just is going to come down to the line. I like Potter running the ball with Schiffer and Consford out there on the block. It seems like they've been making some holes open for Potter to run through. I believe he's had some pretty good rushing yards so far this game.
Well, as they get ready to go here, Jeremiah Lennon, the center. Oh, it looks like it could be a false start there, but it's going to be Potter off the left there. Legal shift, yeah.
Yeah, after Consford moved a little bit there.
You see the sportsmanship between the players. I imagine Green is going to decline this, and it'll be green ball. First down. Yep. It's going to be green ball, and they have under a minute to go here. Green might be content to kind of just take this to half.
We've seen a couple times already this week where the clock is winding down at halftime, and a team gets a touchdown in before the half. Some teams do like to play it safe, and like we saw on the last drive for Green, they threw an interception here on the first play. So if something like that were to happen again, it would be a problem. But if they do end up scoring, then they get to be able to put some points on the board, and they get the ball here at the start of the second half. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Now you see the coaches there telling them to back up. Now, Red here won on the second day on what I would call a miracle play. They had no timeouts left, a minute left, and Burgundy did not play any safeties, and they were able to throw it behind them and score. So we do know that they do like to kind of throw deep here. We'll see if Red is a little bit more prepared for him on this.
It almost looks like they have 42 here. I believe that's 42. I don't have my glasses on. But they have him on a one-on-one down here with 33. And 33 was the one that got the interception here a little bit earlier. So let's see how much they trust their receivers to go one-on-one against these corners.
I think Green there called a timeout. Didn't like the look they had there. They're going to make a substitution on there. Interesting on that play. You're right. They do have Caleb McCoskey one-on-one. It looks like versus Harrison Purdy on the bottom of the field there. I wonder if they. It looks like they were not happy with the way the alignment was on the blocking up on the line.
And there was a little bit of a height difference there, but as we saw on their last offensive drive, height doesn't always matter if you can undercut the pass a little bit sooner. And I guess we'll just see if they're going to go for the height. And a lot of it depends on the placement where the ball is thrown as well. And if it's thrown in a perfect spot, it might be hard for Monkowski to get to it, but really it all just depends on that ball placement.
So Monkowski and Topman are on the bottom. Up top there is going to be Tirick and Riley. Griggs in the backfield with Ramos. Ramos to take the snap. Here's the snap. He's going to run out to his left. He's got some room. He's going to try to get through. Schiffer runs through and just wraps him up there for a loss of the play. Clock is running under 40 seconds.
If I don't see a timeout here, it's going to be a good guess that they're just going to run out the clock for half. It's always a safe bet to run the ball instead of throwing it.
And that will be the end here.
Yep, winding down the half.
I believe we're on a 40-second play clock, so they should be able to run this out.
Timeout at 4 seconds. Okay.
So it looks like Green may have to run one more play here.
Calling a timeout with 4 seconds left is pretty much trying to ensure that there will not be any more plays after this, so maybe this might be a Hail Mary type play.
Yeah, you've seen that happen before, and then also if there is a disaster and you throw an interception here, as long as you get the tackle, should be the end of the half here. So this should be the last play. Kind of managing risk here.
And being on your own 20, meaning you have to get an 80-yard play here for a score. And so, let's see what the coaches have planned. 4 seconds left. I'd like to see a trick play here. Let's see if the defense is going to be prepared for that.
Looks like Red is going to starting to show maybe a cover 3 look. We'll see. But it's surprising. Sometimes, apparently on some of these plays here, people are supposed to be playing safety or not. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to make them pass that IQ cut test here. A lot of Red players playing way back.
When you need 80 yards.
Now Red's going to take a timeout, doing the classic NFL Sean McDermott thing. Wait to see their lineup, call a timeout then, so you can adjust there. I mean, but hey, you got the timeouts, might as well use them. Try to make sure that nothing crazy happens here. Looks like Green was coming out almost in like a kind of, I don't want to say a max protect, but instead of having 4 wide, a lot of guys in and only 2 out in the pattern.
Seems like the Red coach saw something and wanted to change some things up. I guess we'll see if the Green comes out in the same formation or if they switch it up too.
Griggs is out there coaching right on the line of scrimmage, letting him know what he wants exactly. I did see one of the younger lovers, literally a coach almost pick up a player and put him in position. So here we go. We got two players up top, Caleb Griggs in the position possibly to receive a lateral. And then it looks like we have 42 Monkowski on the bottom of the screen, Riley up top underneath Griggs. The ball snapped, here comes the rush. He's gonna step up, throws it, hit as he throws. It's gonna fall down, Red's gonna take it. They're gonna try to score, and Salvion scores! Right as the half ends, it's deja vu all over again for Griggs. They call a timeout, and Red's able to capitalize. Looks like Potter got in there. Somehow, Salvion ends up with the ball and is able to score.
You know, and on those last-minute plays, it's really just, you know, hoping that your team pulls together, doesn't make any big mistakes. But, yeah, the blitz coming off the left was able to cause a fumble there on the quarterback for the Green, and the Red team was just prepared to pick it up and go for a score. Yesterday's game, it was a one-score, one touchdown to 0, and so we'll see if this is going to be more of a high-scoring game or if this is going to end up depending on the defense and if Green can come back with a score in the second half, since they are going to be getting the ball.
Looked like that might have been ruled a pass there, but it's actually going to be ruled a fumble on here. We're getting a replay. We're going to take a look at this. Oh, it's intercepted. Yeah, he catches it right there on the ball, and it's going to be interception there.
So there is no room for error there. Definitely caught it off of that deflection. Because it did seem like the Green quarterback got it off and the ball was coming forward, but no, it doesn't matter too much when he catches it in the air and goes for 6.
They're going to run it off on the left side here.
Oh, and they
Depends
call
on
them
the
down
start. They're
short.
calling them down short. So it'll be 6-0 Red as we go into halftime here.
That was a close call there. It looked like he tried stretching for the end zone, but you know, the refs do have a better angle there, and they can see when his knee touches down and where the ball is placed at the moment where his knee touches the ground.
Well, we're going to be back here in a second. We're going to be playing some top 10s from yesterday. Red leading the Green 6-0, and we'll be back. Just leave it in. And then I'll go down. I'm going to listen in the Green. You listen in Red.
So you just leave these here?
A red jersey in this huddle.
Knocked out of bounds right about There's the snap to number 50. Takes it himself, runs around the right side, gets to the edge, passes, knocked out of bounds, right about the 41, 42-yard line, it looks like.
That was a good run by Kaz McCombs.
Wayne Scott with the ball, looking for another pass, it looks like. Passes downfield, number 25 with the catch, and that is a touchdown for the Blue. Adam Wilson with the touchdown pass. Beautiful pass there from Cambridge, Wayne Scott.
On purpose, that's right.
And there's a high snap, goes right over the head of number 58. Tries to pick it up, and instead number 76 grabs it, turns to look at his coach to see what to do, then turns around and runs down the field. He's made it to the goal line.
That would be
Third touchdown for Green.
Ladian Cayley for Green, showing surprising speed. He looked like one of the big guys, as it were, but he ran away and kept his lead to make it to the end zone.
Medallia, number 45.
No, yeah, there's going to be an outside there. Good fake there. I think that's going to be a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
And they're right.
Oh, they would know. There's the top
Pass!
23.
Here's the pass we want to see. He's got him!
And
Yes!
the end zone.
Logan Johnson, number 8, waiting for the ball comfortably in the end zone.
Interception returned on the last play. Here's the kick, low kick, returned immediately at 61. They're going to have good field position here. He's going to run up, and they're going to get it right out past the 45. Good return, good thinking on their feet there by Max Walker, able to catch the ball and immediately return it.
I feel like any return where you can get close to the half field mark is going to be a pretty good return. It's great field position. You're not backed into your own half, and you might even, you can decide whether or not you want to punt on a 4th down in this position. But when you're backed up in your own half, you don't really have a choice to go for it.
I heard that listening in on the Green Huddle there, and they were talking, what are the odds that would happen on the last play? Kind of disappointed. One of the things they emphasized was, we need to block Schiffer and we need to block 14 Potter. And they said, if you're a lineman and you don't have anything to do, go find those guys and basically block them. And they said, look to see, I think we're going to see more of a heavy run game here in the second half. Here they are in their wedge flying V. They're going to take it, try to bounce off the left side, immediately tackle there on the outside there. But it's going to be a gain. Oh, there's a flag thrown in here. Came in late, almost after the play.
Looks like that ref saw something he didn't like. Looks like Tom Brady over there throwing that flag.
He did throw it from all the way in the sideline. Personal foul on Red. This is going to give Green excellent field position and a 1st down.
Yeah, in the red huddle at halftime, it seemed like the coach was really just trying to get their mindset a little bit better. They were saying that, they're not up 6-0, that it's 0-0. A couple players went further to say that they're down 6-0, so to kind of have a comeback mentality and to have a mistake like this right after the half, it's see how focused they really are and if they can step it back up after this play.
Green was emphasizing, hey, they only had one bad play here, one back-breaking play, but they still hold fast to go back and make up for it here. So, as they get set here, looks like Driggs is going to be the QB. Brings his players in. Here's the ball. He's going to take it and try the left side. Bounces it. Kicks outside. tries to run over a player and is brought down there by number 82 Red on the play there. Good job by them. It's going to be Zachary Cortez. So Green has definitely come out in a different formation here. Earlier we were saying 4 wide, now we're back to 0 wide, if you permit me to say that. Kind of running the wedge again.
Yeah, I heard one of the Green Pee Wee players looked like Josiah Griggs, you know, the Coach Griggs' son, the oldest one that's now coaching Pee Wee. They called it the wedgie. So let's see if this wedgie can work on JV too.
Here we go. Caleb under center. Takes it. He's going to try the left side. He's going to keep bouncing it. Oh, and he's going to try it out there. I think there was another flag on the field there.
Like it to me too. Let's see if this will be on the defense again. Maybe a holding call. Maybe there was no flag.
Yeah, I can't tell there. The ref's not giving a signal. Looked like they were going to count something off, like they were about to enforce a penalty, but instead it's going to be nothing. Here we are again. The wedge making some progress. 3rd and 3. He's going to get it off to 42. Oh, and he's wrapped up there again by Salvione. Salvione there, hard to get outside him. One of the fastest players in camp, was a varsity player, now playing down in the JV level. Able to really get outside, hard to get outside with a fast guy like that, and pretty sure tackler himself able to bring it down. It's going to set up 4th down, about 6. Green probably going to go for it here, I would imagine.
Yeah, being good at those open field tackles it's a rare skill that's found here in man camp, and honestly in football in general. You know, a one-on-one where it's you know, one man versus another, and it's sometimes it's really hard to you know, with the pressure it's hard to bring him down. But it looks like Salvione really stepped up there on that play. Red was in a similar position on the other side, wasn't able to put the ball in. Let's see if Green can.
4th and 6. New QB, he's going to try the left side. Looks like he's got some room. Schiffer takes an angle, misses.
Looks like a 1st down.
Trying to see what, some confusion here. Looks like there might be a kind of maybe an injured player, maybe got the wind knocked out of him there.
And it was a pretty hard hit there on the sideline. Hope nobody's too injured and that it is just somebody got the wind knocked out of him.
That is the plan here. Let's see what's going on. While we're doing that, we just want to talk about some of the philosophy here at Man Camp. There's a lot of preaching here, a lot of good spiritual things that are happening, including the huddles, and a lot of spiritual times really poured into these boys. The coaches sit now with the players during the services and try to just be a part of their lives. You end up seeing some players end up having pretty good relationships with their players. We'll send them, you know, postcards of encouragement throughout the year.
This was my 3rd year as a coach and my 1st year as a huddle coach, and being on the other side of things, you know, because I used to be a player here, like Caleb mentioned a few years back, and I was a part of the huddle, but now actually leading the huddle for these young men, it's a big blessing to be on the other side of things, as much as it is you know, to hear from some of these men of God that have been pastoring for years. And like Brother Woodward and Brother Booth like to say, you know, football isn't the main objective here. It is to hear from God. It's to you know, to really get have a tender heart for the sermon so that God can speak to you. And football is just a tool to get these boys here. And it is for fun. It is to teach them some you know, some lessons and to make decisions that'll follow them for the rest of their lives. But the main objective here is the preaching and working on that relationship with God and tossing out some of the junk that they might have had before they got here.
A lot of work goes in here to Man Camp. The media broadcast, so set up the broadcast here. There's 2 broadcasts being broadcast to multiple platforms. Usually there are 2 cameramen and a drone per field. We have had the drone operator with us. My drone operator for this game is Brother Nichols, and I really, I've enjoyed the fact that he has not run into a goalpost yet. And the reason I say that is that past drone operators, and I'm not calling out any names, have run into goalposts, and I'm sure it's very hard, but I want to give him props, and I don't want to give him the announcer drinks. He has not run into a goalpost, a golf cart, and he has not run into the media apparatus itself, which, by the way, is scary if you've ever been buzzed by one of these things come flying in by you. It can make you go like, whoa. I'm sure they're not as deadly as they seem, but man, they make a lot of noise when they come in at you. They can move pretty fast. Also, shout out to all the camera guys and people that are working on this broadcast, trying to make this a reality and doing all the work here. There is a lot of work to run all the cords, run everything, set it all up, and I want to thank all the folks that do that. There's so much going into this, whether it's the people who donate time ahead of time to set up the dorms, to work on just the trash, the sanitation crew, to all the way to the food crew, to the sanitation, like I said earlier, to the Gatorade crew, to the paramedics and the nurses. The list goes on and on. There really is several hundred people here. I would say there's probably between 100 and 200 people here, support staff, to try to run this. Again, this is one of the largest man camps with over 340 boys here. Looks like the player's going to be okay as we get back again. First down for Green. Green's going to take it, going to run outside, and immediately swallowed up there in the play by number 40 for Red. Demetrius Robinson able to get in there, make a big play on him, and stop him for a short gain. Of course, that was Caleb Mkowski and at QB or running back. Green, like we said earlier, does love to cycle the players back there. Coach Griggs, I think, thinks that keeps them fresher and also just helps everyone feel more involved in the offense.
I'd say one of the more difficult things about coaching here at camp is you have about one practice, so you have a few hours to put every player on your team into a position and try and get them to learn that position here. And unless these players have some type of football knowledge outside of here, it can be pretty difficult, but very impressive when you see some teams where it might be their first or second year playing football and they really mesh together well.
Here comes Caleb. Takes the ball. They're going to run up the middle and try to push forward for still going. Going to be able to get forward for a few yards.
Lost 2 and then gained 2 these last 2 plays.
Sets up a third, and it looks to be about 10 or 11. They're getting all fired up here as we're going to be about under 30 minutes to go in the third quarter. Green marching. Griggs talking to Ramos there. Ramos couldn't take the snap. Takes the ball, looks to throw it to his left, throws it underneath. Oh, looks like the receiver may have stopped running there, or he put it out in front of him. Looks like he was trying to get the ball to number 89 there, Tierick. Unfortunately, unable to connect on that. It's going to bring a 4th down and 10. Looks like he was open there.
Yep, and it could be, a little bit of mud on the ball, or, there is some pretty heavy wind blowing. As you can look at those flags across the field, Caleb, we can see that, there's definitely some wind going on here, and let's see how much it'll affect these throws later on in the game.
That is a good point. It does look like when things have been in the air, they do seem to shift a little bit left to right a little bit here because the wind is kind of going, I would say maybe more of the southwest to northeasterly kind of wind here. Fourth and 10. Ramos with 3 wide to his right. Give me a timeout here. Green. Didn't like what they saw there.
When it's a 4th down, it's important that you act cautious, especially being this close to the end zone, because this could be a play where it leads them or it gets them a touchdown here at right before the 3rd quarter ends to bring that score to a 6-6.
So Green, been able to move the ball, but not been able to quite finish drives. They've been able to get 20 to 30 yards per drive, but haven't been able to kind of punch it in here. Looking at a 4th and 10 here.
Yeah, both offenses have struggled, and luckily the Red defense was able to put up 6 points. And it's really just, as the game goes on and on, it's just proving more and more to be a defensive battle. And right now, Red is on top, and they were able to get a score in on defense, and let's see if they can get a stop here.
Yeah, as they come out here, looks like they're going to send down to the right side there Monkowski and also Topman. Up to the left here, they have 3 wide, Riley, and then Turek, and then Griggs. Ramos in there. Looks like Potter about to come off on the left side of the defense, right side of the offense. Takes it. He's going to roll to his left. Looks to throw. Throws it up there. Oh, looks like that ball moved quite a bit with the wind there. Wasn't quite in the area. He did have a receiver open, but unable to hit him there. Looks like he was trying to throw it to number 15, Griggs, on there.
And again, it really just comes down to placement, and it's even harder when you have the wind blowing the way it is, and then you get some mud on the ball, and it just makes it that much more difficult. But Red's going to be taking over off that 4th down missed attempt by the Green. So change of possession there for the Red. Let's see if they can get out of their half of the field there and see if they can do something on offense.
Red here in a 6-0 lead in a defensive battle here. Minute 41 coming out, 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to motion out Miller to the right, Salvion to the left, with Bessadas below it. Salvion goes in motion. He's going to take the ball. Nope, it's going to be handoff up the middle.
So
looks like
Schiffer's about 2.
Schiffer's going to be the ball carrier on there, get 1 or 2 on there. 2nd and 8. You see those players, they're making substitutions. Sometimes those players are carrying in the play from the coach. Some coaches do it that way. Sometimes it's just a substitution. Looks like we're going to have 52 Salvion at the left and up top, and the receiver position, we have number 17 Red. Knox takes the ball, drops back to pass, going to keep it himself, run, and immediately wrapped up by Ramos there. When he rolled out there, it looks like he ran right into him. Good containment on the play by Ramos. Again, it looks like Red was starting to try to air it out or thinking about possibly airing it out.
So Red with another mental mistake with a false start there. Looks like it's going to back him up to 2nd and 12. 3rd and 12. On a false start, usually they'll replay the down, so it was looking like it was somebody was out of position or you had 2 people moving at the same time.
Third and 12. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Red is up 6-0 here.
That's looking like a similar game to like yesterday, they both hit a lot of the plays that they were planning on running this week, and today they're trying to use them a little bit more. You saw Green airing out the ball, and they had some successes but also some failures, and really it's just back to a defensive battle. And Red is coming off strong. Green is doing a great job. They just weren't able to get the ball back and put in a score, which is very rare when it comes to defensive battles.
Well, as we come to the end here, we're going to be starting off here. It'll be 3rd and 12 when we get back. I do want to point out everyone's favorite ref, Ren Rippey, right there, recently from Stats, has now gone to becoming a referee. Rumor has it people tune in just to watch him referee games. He's going to turn his back to me and pretend he can't.
Start of the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter really is going to be what makes or breaks a lot of these games, especially when it's such a close score as it is right now. It's really just what team, finishes off the strongest, what team wants it more.
Here we are, Hard Knocks number 84. Facing a long 3rd and 12. Looks like Andrew Reed, number 17, is the receiver at the bottom of the screen. Salvin goes in motion, fakes the handoff to him. They're going to give it to Potter. Potter's wrapped up in the backfield by number 74 on Green. Emil Shaver able to get in there and tackle him for a big loss there. They're going to send it up a 4th and a long way to go here.
That was a great play by you said 74? Shaver? Yeah. He got in through the defense. Seemed like he found a hole there on the Reds' offensive line, and was almost out of his grasp, but grabbed onto the jersey. And it's very important that when you're especially when you're doing these backfield tackles on sweeps, it's hard to hold on to those jerseys, and to hold on to somebody who's running full speed, and he did just that to get them a big loss. Which looks like it'll force a punt here.
Red's going to come in here. They're having a huddle, as they call timeout here. Again, punting can be, I like to say that at man camp, while the saying is in real football, as it were professional football, special teams is a 1/3 of the game. I say at man camp sometimes it's a little bit more than a 1/3 because sometimes punting can be disastrous. Sometimes it can be backbreaking here. The field position battle is so big here, especially without a lot of the passing offenses that are going on. We look at this and think, oh, we're so used to the quarterbacks in the NFL who can make any throw. At man camp, not only do you need a quarterback that can make the throw, you need receivers who can make the catch. More importantly, you need offensive linemen who can block. And blocking in the offensive line is very hard to teach in a short period of time. It's often one of the toughest things to teach players. So a lot of times, if you can get a great offensive line, it will help you out quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that offensive line are the most important positions on the field. And yeah, they get the least amount of glory, but without an offensive line, none of the guys that do get the glory can do much.
Hilliard back to punt. Takes the snap. Gets it off. Decent kick here. It's going to be fielded up around midfield. It's bounced, picked up by Riley. Riley's going to run, but Schiffer able to run down and get him, and take him out on the other side of midfield. Excellent coverage on the play by
Great pursuit
Schiffer.
by Schiffer there.
Shifty Schiffer able to get in there, cause some problems on him.
And that could have been bad. It looked like Potter slipped there. And if Schiffer wasn't there to make the tackle, that could have been a very big gain there for the Green's return. Which would have given them better field position, but instead has them right there on the 50.
And now Red will play some defense here. We're about 9:15 here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at midfield. And we'll see if Green comes out in their wedge formation. And it looks like they are. Red's packed in tight to defend the sneak. Gonna take it. Gonna try to run forward. Looks like it may have been fumble on the ball there, as you talked about with the mud earlier.
Yep, and honestly, that's a great technique when you're going against the wedge, is to have your defensive line, almost like bear crawl through the offensive line, because if they can't progress forward, a lot of times that leaves the quarterback stuck. And like we saw earlier when he was having to run to the outside, and those were designed, but a lot of times when you're meant to go up to the front or through the middle of the wedge, and then you're forced outside, a lot of times that allows the outside of the defense to crash in, resulting in a loss of 1, like we just saw.
Now they come out 4 wide. Green has to call timeout here. Looks like they were having trouble getting some of their guys lined up. Red's going to take this opportunity to do some substitutions. So we're going to huddle up here. Key series here for Green. And now we're conditioned here that, watching the pros, that if you have 8 minutes and 22 seconds left, anything can happen in pro football. But here in man camp, it's a lot of the running clock, and the playing by high school rules where the clock doesn't stop as much as it does in the pros. It is a lot shorter than one would think. And given that both teams have not really been able to get huge chunk yards, everything's been earned. Maybe 5 or 6 yards would be a great play here. So it does look like it's going to take them some time here. We could be wrong. Maybe they'll score on this play.
We did see a score there with 4.4 seconds on the clock. So sometimes it can be quick, and sometimes you definitely have to earn it. It just depends if it's on the broken play or well executed.
Ramos takes it. He's going to keep himself off the right side. He's got some room out there. He's going to try to run. Over there, they close it up. Looked like for a second he was going to be able to get outside there and turn the corner, but unable to do so. Instead, just going to be right back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a great pursuit there by the Red defense. You saw about 8 red jerseys sprinting towards where the ball was being ran to, and that's another important thing is that the defense all pursues the ball. Sometimes you will catch some players, and I have seen a little bit more on my Pee-wee team, but a lot of times they don't chase down the ball. But to have 11 guys running after the ball, one of them is bound to get the tackle.
Here we are, 4 wide. Ramos takes it, gonna give it to Griggs. Griggs gonna run up immediately. The hole closes though.
Yeah, when you looked at that play, it was shotgun with a spread offense there, and to run up the middle, they did a little draw play, and sometimes that works. It'll throw off the defense and force the linebackers out to cover the pass, but it looks like they were prepared for that.
Looked like Daniel Rogerson and Demetrius Robinson were in on the tackle there. Fourth and 11.
Green back to punt.
Here's a nice punt. It's gonna bounce and drop. Shifty Schiffer's gonna go back to try to pick it up. Wisely, I think, is just gonna let it drop there. Griggs there trying to give Consford a little nudge, touch the ball, maybe kick it, make it live.
I did see that too.
Kind of a...
It makes you a little nervous if you're the Red coaches. you know, once the ball slows down, you definitely are going to want to run away from that ball as it sits there, because one mistake and it's green ball down here on the 15-yard line.
Here we go. Red is up 6-0 with 6.5 here on the clock. Right now the clock becomes their ally. They want to drain the clock as they go here. Green, of course, would love to get a stop here. Clock is their enemy. Knox. Under center. Takes it. It's going to be a handoff, and Potter's going to go nowhere.
That was a great punt there by Green on the play before, and to have that big drastic change in field position, got a lucky bounce, and it almost looked like Schiffer went to go pick it up, and there was a little bit of a hiccup in the bounce that he wasn't expecting, so he let it go, and that brings Red inside their own 20.
Looks like Red's going to bring some new substitutions on the play. I think I saw number 17, I believe that is Andrew Reed, come on, and number 52, Salvione. Salvione, of course, has the only touchdown of the game. It looks like 73, Hilliard's going to come off. Red's going to call a timeout. Looks like the coaches were not ready for the play. I saw some coaches there going back trying to figure out how much time was on there. And we're going to see all the Red coaching staff come in and a lot of the Red players. Some of the Red coaches there, you see Brother Jimenez, Brother Ballard, Brother Bragg, and Brother Hall.
Yeah, the refs started counting off on that last 5 seconds, so a few extra seconds without a timeout, and that would have been 5 yards back, which could have been a big detriment to this Red offense.
Yeah, already backed up in their own end. Once you start getting inside your 10, any negative play can easily turn into a safety or a touchdown.
Yeah, like we saw at halftime. And against this Green defense, that's been playing very well against this Red offense here. You know, you want every yard you can get. Any of these simple mistakes that cost your team some yards, that can be a big game changer, like we've seen with the Red defense on the other side against this Green offense. Yeah, this fourth quarter is coming to a close. About halfway over.
Here's the toss over to Schiffer. Schiffer looked like for a second like he thought about throwing. Instead, it's going to run forward smartly. I think he was caught that near his own goal line.
Yeah, but it looked like number 42 was back there. They did this play earlier in the week, I believe, against Burgundy, where they had a halfback pass and they had no safeties back far enough to cover that receiver. But if I'm correct, I believe it was number 42 on the Green that had a very, very smart play decision there, where he kept his eyes up, followed his receiver, and a lot of times you're tempted to bite on that run, but he did his job, and that forced a loss of down, because Schiffer wasn't able to get that throw off.
Caleb Monkowski on the play on the green corner, staying back. Right now, Green is showing a single high thing with Topman back. Red comes out and 3 wide. Green showing no safeties. Still looking like they might do an all-out blitz here. Toss to Schiffer. Schiffer's got to get out of his own end zone. He's looking forward. They're going to rip him back. I think they're going to give him forward progress here.
That's a dangerous play there. That's 2 pitches and 2 big losses, and that brings a 4th down on their own 3-yard line, 2-yard line.
One of those things that we had talked about earlier was how dangerous it can be. 4th down. I don't know if I see Red's punter coming in. I think right now Red is talking about taking a safety here. And with 3:50 left in the game, that might be the correct decision here.
Yeah, a lot of these football games between these coaches, it's a battle between the coaches and to see which strategy works best. And it does have a lot to do with the players and effort and what they've been taught throughout the week. But big decisions like this throughout the game and a game this close, it does have a big effect on the turnout of this game. I believe that was a delay of game.
When you're on your own 1 yard line, delay of game doesn't do much there.
Yeah, that is a fair point there.
Now here's the key though on this, man. You got to have a good snap. What you don't want is the fumbled snap here on red. And if you're green, man, you want to try to get in as fast as you can and try to make this play. I bet you Griggs here might try to intimidate the center a little bit.
I wonder if we'll see a repeat of what happened at the end of the first half. And taking a safety, that is better than, yeah, because if he would have gotten any more yards, that could have put them on the inside their own 5, which would have led to a touchdown. And a broken play like we saw at the end of the first half could have led to a touchdown as well. And now they get 2 points, 2-6, and red gets to kick off to the green. And this drive is going to be important. But as a red coach, for the defense, I would definitely trust my team a little bit, as we've seen them do so far this game, where they've held stop after stop. Green offense hasn't been able to do much, but neither has the red offense. We'll see what will happen on this next drive.
Yeah, one of the interesting things on this here is that with red here taking the safety here is going to be 6-2. Now, one thing that I think is interesting about this is in a previous game against Burgundy, Burgundy took a safety when it was 2-6 and gave the ball to make it 6-2 and gave the ball to Green, and then Green scored a touchdown to win. So will we see a repeat of history here? Green defense has been playing great all week. And here comes red. They're going to kick this off. Almost looks like they're going to try like an onside kick here. Okay, now they're going to spread out.
Yeah, this drive is gonna tell what's gonna happen in the course of this game on who wins.
Here's the kick, picked up by Riley. Riley's gonna run off to the right side, gonna try to cut up field, cuts back inside, makes a move, and they're gonna bring him down, but he's gonna get past the half field marker. Gonna set up with under 3 minutes to play, 1st and 10. Green here has a chance to have the game-winning drive. Red's gonna have to stand firm. Green machine here versus the Red Raptors.
The red coaches trusted their team enough, their defense enough to get a stop here. And if they get a stop here, that's gonna look like that'll be the game. So we'll see what happens here on this drive as Green comes down.
Now, as someone who at times in key situation they put you back at safety, what are some keys here as a safety when you're playing in a situation like this?
Really, the big thing as a safety is to watch the quarterback's eyes. And you know, one thing is most quarterbacks are not very good at looking off unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But right there, they can usually telegraph where they're going to throw the ball. And I think that's pretty important. A lot of times that'll tell you where the play's going, and that'll give you a few extra steps ahead of, to get to that ball a little bit quicker.
Tried to throw underneath, incomplete there. Looked like they were trying to throw to number 89. Unfortunately, unable to complete that pass for Green. It looked like that was Chirks unable to get him the ball. Ramos takes the pass, takes the ball, looks to throw, throws up, picked up this time by Chirk. Chirk's got some room. He's going to run up the middle, breaks a tackle. He's still rolling. Schiffer's going to run him down. And boy, Green is in business with 2 minutes left to go here inside the 15-yard line. Looks like they ran the same play there.
Yep, and it just looks like it's, just one play, one guy misses their mark, and a big play like that can happen. It almost looked dangerous there for the red team. They do still have a chance to get a stop here, but let's see if the Green offense can keep their momentum going.
They're up to the line quickly, minute 46 here. Ramos picks it up, Looks to roll to his left, throws it, again underneath, oh! Dropped it.
Yeah, they're leaving 89 pretty open there on the slant, and that slant worked. The play right before, you'd think that the red defense would adjust to it. And it looks like the red coaches are yelling at him for it, but as a player, you'd think that you'd want to cover the guy that just made a big play.
I wonder if Green has a counter here. Takes the pass, looks to roll out, dodges one, throws it up. Oh! Almost picked off there by Reed. Again, it looks like Tierks is just wide open. Looks like they're almost afraid to cover him. Clock starts with a minute here. 3rd down and 10. 6-2. An exciting game. Looks like they're bringing in Salvione. They're going to substitute number 17 off.
It looks like this could be the last 2 plays. They could still get a first down, but
technically, but yeah, it's real close. Here's the snap, takes it, looks to pass, throws it across the middle. Oh, knocked down there.
Great defense.
Looks like number 66, Consford, giving up, it looks like about 2 feet of height. Somehow still able to get in there and knock the hands down.
And Consford has been doing very well here this game in the championship. This is his 2nd pass that he's broken up that should have been caught. And yeah, there is a little bit of a height difference, but
you can always do the short people tactic, wait till their hands touch the ball, and then
smack
just
them down,
smack them as hard as you can.
And it works, it does.
If you can't get up there, you got to hit them where you can. I say that as I'm quite a few inches shorter than my broadcast partner here. I'm more of a 5'9" on a good day.
You know, with the extra thick socks on.
Yeah, with the extra thick socks there. Him is a little bit taller than me, just a tad, but able to here. Now this sets up the 4th down and 10. It is possible, as we mentioned earlier, for Green to get a first down, but right now here, we wonder if Green's going to put this in the end zone.
My guess is that they're going to go for another pass, and that's where we've seen most of their successes. We did see them gain a few yards, but not. I don't believe I saw any plays where they ran over 10 yards. And so it looks like this will be back in the air, and let's see if the wind is going to be favorable on this play.
Here's the snap. Ramos rolls to his right. He's got pressure, throws it up. It's intercepted by Schiffer. Schiffer's going to run this back. There's going to try to get him low, and he is going to score! Schiffer puts the game out of reach. That's going to be a touchdown with 40 seconds left. The Raptors are up 12-6, doing it all on defense. Both scores today by the Raptors. Interception return for touchdowns. First one by Salvione at the end of the half, and at the end of the game here, number 6, Schiffer able to get it and put the game away.
I think it's funny that all the points on the board are defensive points, and it just looked like the red defense turned out to just a little bit ahead of the Green defense, and the Green offense almost got a score there to close out the game on one broken play there on the defensive side, but they were able to get it together, and they got some good pressure there on the Green quarterback. He tossed it up, and just wasn't enough. Schiffer was able to take it back to the house, which is definitely going to close out this JV championship game.
Well, throwing it into the wind probably didn't help it. It was one of those plays that's a safety dream. The ball was in the air a long time, and whoever can get there first. So Red, you said this was going to be offensive battle. Right now, all the points on the board are defensive. Let's see if Red can get an extra point here. Maybe put some offensive points on the board. Scott's they're gonna push it out, and it looks like Potter's gonna just walk in there. It's gonna be 14-2. Big defensive battle here. Defense showed out. Red's defense just a little bit better here than Green's. So Red will kick off to Green here. I suppose it is technically possible for Green to come back here, but it would be pretty much a miracle.
This is true. A 14-2 score doesn't look as close as this game really has been. It came down to the wire there, and that last pick six did steal the game away and push that a little bit farther out of reach, but it was a very close game there for pretty much the entire game. Green almost came down and scored. Their offense was doing well, moving the ball, and one mistake on a 4th down.
Yeah, you take away 1 or 2 plays here. 1 or 2 plays go the other way, it could have changed things up. Well, Red just got a game firmly in hand here, up 2 scores. Should be able to just put this game out of reach. Should be out of reach here. Red just got to be smart.
And the Red defense has been playing very well all game so far, so unless there are another couple mistakes like there were before, Green might be able to get a score in, maybe 2. But it's all going to depend on these next few plays.
They're going to squib kick it, clock starts. They're going to run, and they're going to run in and get a big hit on the play there.
I think Red just has the momentum right now, and it's looking like they'll close it out.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've all been a part of games where it just starts to, when it rains, it pours. At this point, it's starting to pour. 36 seconds left here. Red is up 14-2. Green here, maybe we'll try to get one last score and maybe try to get the ball to a player or 2 here. They're going to win here. They pretty much have to score like now, and then the path to victory would include an onside kick and then another Hail Mary. So 2 Hail Marys and an onside kick will get the job done. That would at least that would put the game in reach if they did that. So just a few things have to go their way.
Just a few.
Just a few. Red is probably, I can assume, going to come out in some sort of prevent defense here. You see their safety's kind of walking. I see number 73 Hilliard walking way too far back. Looks like Red's going to take a timeout here. They're just going to get some subs in. Great game for both sides here as we're winding down. They're going to substitute out some players here, just getting the guys in.
At this point, as the coach for both teams, Green is going to be trying to draw up some trick plays possibly, and Red is just going to try and calm the players down and just ensure them that the game is not over, because it's not impossible. We've seen time and time again where teams give up at the end of the game because they think that win is sealed, and some crazy things can happen.
Okay, don't do that again.
And here's the whistle of play. Green out in the spread formation here. Ramos takes it, looks to throw. It's going to be intercepted. When it rains, it pours, and they're going to do it, and Red should be able to kneel down and end this. Picked off on there by number 37, Joseph Tierks, able to pick off the pass.
This was a great game on both sides. Both offenses did seem to struggle a little bit, but they were up against some pretty tough defenses, and that's really what it ultimately came down to. And defensive points are scarce, and it's hard enough to score on offense, let alone to get it on defense. But it seemed like Green was moving the ball a little bit in the air, and they had a few mistakes, which is going to be that would turn the tide for this game.
And Hard Knox is going to go ahead and kneel down, and that will be the game. Final score in this one, Red 14, Green 2, Red JV Super Bowl champions. Good job, congratulations to them. Some key players on their team there. You see them all rallying around their coaches, giving them high fives, hugs all around, jumping up and down. Excellent job by Red, able to secure the victory. Up next, we'll be having Red Varsity versus Blue Varsity in the rematch of the ex-Burgundy players. So we'll have Cambridge Wainscott versus James Henderson, both key players on the Burgundy championship team. Only one of them will be able to take it home, and we'll see what happens next.